Well, Deb Murphy filed this report for Sierra Wave Media. Last Friday morning's technical group discussion of the 2-month test on the Five Bridges well 385 drew a standing room only crowd. Now, back on November 28th, Los Angeles Department of Water and Power's Board of Commissioners had approved the initial study and/or negative declaration with staff plans to flip the switch on the test the following Friday. Now, the next week, Inyo County Board of Supervisors filed suit, as we reported here on Sierra Wave, framed against a restraining order against the test. Now, the tech group meeting was a little like the showdown at the OK Corral, Deb Murphy writes, with a twist. The group was made up of LADWP and Inyo Water Department staff, and that requires a consensus to take action. If one of the two votes no, nothing happens. Now, Inyo voted no on the test of well 385, which LADWP had modified to draw from a deep aquifer with far less output than the unmodified version. Now, LADWP hydrologist Saeed Horat started the agenda item with the well's background. W385 and 386 initially ran 1987 and 88, causing environmental damage to a 300-acre area south of the site. Now, the department tried again in 1993, and this time the wells caused a 5-foot aquifer drawdown and the wells were shut off. Efforts to restore the 300 acres were not consistently successful. Now, in 2014, the well was modified. The proposed 2-month test was to determine or verify the well's operation would not do additional damage to the ecosystem. Now, Inyo County's comments on the negative declaration focused on the fact that DWP identified the well as new and violations of procedures set up in the 1991 long-term water agreement. Now, public comment on the document focused on the magnitude of the environmental damage and the fact that the mitigation had yet to repair that damage. Now, following Horat's discussion, Inyo County Water Department Director Bob Harrington read a prepared statement repeating the objections raised in the negative declaration comments. In essence, the agreement and Green Book set out procedures for new wells. And in the Five Bridges area, there is a good chance damage will be done to vegetation if the well is operative. Harrington said the county's position is the well can't be turned on. Now, LADWP staff and attorney conferred, came back and argued. Harrington stuck to his statement. LADWP staff and attorney again conferred, this time arguing that Inyo County worked with the department on developing the monitoring plan. Harrington was asked if the county's objections were technical or legal. Harrington said they couldn't be separated and stuck to the statement. Now, Los Angeles Department of Water and Power's Aqueduct Manager Jim Yanada made a motion. The city and county agree well 385's monitoring plan was developed jointly in conformity with the long-term water agreement. Harrington didn't agree, and the meeting was adjourned. Well, Deb Murphy also filed this report saying this story was supposed to describe a fairly complete picture of what the Owens Valley Groundwater Sustainability Agency was going to look like based on the respective financial commitment and voting power of each of the 11 participating agencies, but the group hedged. Instead of taking the necessary step to become a GSA, it's still the Owens Valley Groundwater Authority, governed by a joint powers agreement with little ability to do anything but talk. Now, at the urging of Acting Chair Fred Stump, those decisions were deferred to February 8th with the hope that Inyo's Water Department would know the fate of its Department of Water Resources grant application covering some of or part of the group's groundwater sustainability plan. Now, John Vallejo, Inyo County's Deputy County Counsel, he said that agencies could declare a financial commitment at Thursday's meeting, then opt to change their contribution once the group was governed by its own rules and procedures. Until then, they had to stick to the joint powers agreement. Now, according to Inyo County Water Director Bob Harrington, the county should have an idea of the status of the application in January. Now, deferring the decision would delay securing a consultant to develop the plan and pretty much eliminate any possibility of petitioning the DWR for a boundary adjustment. Now, the window for those petitions opens in January, but slams shut on March 31st. Bishop Mayor Joe Pexi expressed his frustration. "We're moving ahead. We need to get on with business. We all knew what was expected of us today," Pexi said. That sentiment was also echoed by Luis Elias and Terry Ty of the Indian Creek Westridge CSD, as well as Inyo Supervisor and Acting Chair Dan Tothero. Deb's full story on this meeting posted on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, 'tis the season of giving, and Rusty Gregory and Mammoth Resorts, and they gave a major gift to support cancer screening. Getting information from a press release noting that Dr. Yuri Perisky, Chief of Staff at Mammoth Hospital, said that breast cancer screening through mammography is critical for early detection and life-saving treatment. Perisky is a leading expert in the field of breast cancer, and he said there is no substitute. Over the last 10 years, we have provided digital mammography for all patients in the Eastern Sierra, regardless of ability to pay, and successfully detected numerous cases of early breast tumors that have led to successful treatment. He added that when Mr. Gregory learned that the Mammoth Hospital Foundation wanted to support us in upgrading to the latest 3D technology, he was first in line to volunteer financial support. He said that we're extremely grateful for his leadership, generosity, and that of Mammoth Resorts. Now, Talene Shahabian, Mammoth Hospital Foundation coordinator, said Rusty teamed up with Mammoth Resorts to make this combined gift of $50,000 to match the donations of other donors. So this has given us a great leap forward to meet our goal of raising $350,000 to acquire the new 3D equipment. Their leadership is bringing other donors forward who are stretching their gifts with the matching funds and providing even greater energy to our fundraising efforts. Now, said Mark Brownlee, he's the COO of Mammoth Resorts, and he noted that at our core, Mammoth is about people, and Mammoth Hospital is pivotal in protecting and caring for all of our community's well-being. Brownlee said whether you are a day visitor or a longtime resident, Mammoth Hospital provides a world-class environment to care for all our needs. He said we're proud to partner with Mammoth Hospital on this important project and encourage all of Mammoth's people to contribute in any way to support this life-saving initiative. If you would like to get some more information, you can contact 760-924-4107, how you can help out with this and other important health projects for our community. Nicely done, Mammoth Resorts and Mammoth Hospital. Well, North Bissap resident Gene Turner was named to the Northern Inyo Healthcare District Board of Directors during last Wednesday's monthly meeting of the board. Gene Turner retired from Inyo County past June. She was one of 3 applicants to file for the recent Zone 2 vacancy. An ad hoc committee of current board directors, as well as John Ungersma and Mary Kay Kilpatrick, interviewed 3 applicants before recommending Turner's appointment to remaining board members MC Hubbard and Pete Watercott. The recommendation was approved 4-0. Now, in presenting Turner as the nominee, Kevin S. Flanagan, the Chief Executive Officer at Northern Inyo Hospital, the doctor described the screening process and the difficulty the committee members had in selecting between Turner, Jane Thompson, and past board president Denise Hayden. Dr. Flanagan noted that committee spent hours on the decision, as all 3, the press release notes, were eminently qualified and each had her own strengths. Now, in public service her entire adult career, Gene Turner moved to Bishop in 1986, worked in local public human services, and 31 years later, this past June, she retired from almost 14 years as the director of the Inyo County Health and Human Services Department. Northern Inyo Healthcare District Board also elected its slate of board officers for 2018. Dr. Ungersma will serve as president, MC Hubbard as vice president, Mary Kay Kilpatrick as secretary, Gene Turner as treasurer, and Pete Watercott director at large. That full press release is posted on sierrawave.net. We'll be back with more news.